How you doing, Jersey? Welcome to the Star Ledger Newsroom. Tuesday, January 20th. Well, President Barack Obama took the oath of office today and became the nation's 44th president. Now, there was so much talk leading up to this. People saying that this was going to be one of those events where you really look back years later and never forget where you were when it happened. And that is exactly what happened across New Jersey today. People stopped and went to churches. They watched it in schools, street corners, restaurants, people taking time out to absorb this historic moment. We sent a team of video journalists out, fanning out across the state to catch this moment as it transpired, to see it through the eyes of New Jerseyans.
And with
Check it
eyes
out.
fixed on the horizon and God's grace upon us, we carried forth that great gift of freedom and delivered it safely to future generations. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.
Some of that footage was shot where I was as Obama took the oath at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center in Newark. Certainly a dramatic scene there. You had several thousand people, many of them in tears as Obama took the oath. But the place that I was today that I think I will never forget was where I was earlier in the day. That's the Harriet Tubman School in Newark. Now, it's an impressive school with an impressive principal. They really take the Harriet Tubman theme seriously there. They have, each hallway is decorated as a different scene along the Underground Railroad. One, for example, is a swamp depicting area that the slaves had to pass through as they escaped on their way to freedom. And today, they held a mock inaugural ball. They had students dressed up as Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. And I thought to myself as I was there that really, this is what this day was all about. That no matter what your politics, no matter what your opinion of Obama, that these kids, it is a tectonic shift for these kids between the reality in which I grew up in and people who are older than I grew up in and their parents grew up in, and the reality that they're facing. And a lot of parents telling me that today as they watch this inauguration with their children, saying that that was the significance for them, that right now many of these children, most of them African American, really truly can be anything they want. And there we had Nazi Lee, chosen, he's a straight A student, chosen to depict Barack Obama today. And he told me earlier that that's exactly what he wants to be. He wants to be president. All right, we've shown you quite a few clips of people gathered in groups and public places to watch this today. But for many people, it was a day to just sit home and absorb this moment on their own couches, in their living room. One of them is T.R. Billings of Long Branch. But Mr. Billings had quite a bit more at stake than most people in this. A combat veteran of Korea and Vietnam. He also has a son serving in Iraq. Here's the video.
We have always participated in the outhouse, and that's been our basic location. But today, we're now inside the house. We run the house today. We're the top dog in the house, and I'm very happy about that because it's about time. From the outhouse to the White House, and that's a long way up the line. So I'm very pleased with that. And proud to be a man of color, you got that right. But when you together can solidify to elect one person and ignore all the trappings and say that we have a man of color who is now the President of the United States, I'm awed by that. I'm carried away. I would never thought I'd seen that day. And I've gone through the military completely and seen myself rise through ranks that were very difficult to rise through. And I got to some of the top areas. So today I sit back, solidify. However, I will not stop working. There's always going to be bigots out there. And that's the whole key. Oh, boy. That's tearful, Sheila.
He was nervous.
I'm nervous.
All right, that wraps up Ledger Live for today. We're going to have much more coverage of the inauguration tomorrow from the New Jersey point of view. We have video from the inauguration itself, as well as several of the balls taking place tonight. We will leave you now with more voices from across New Jersey on this historic day. All right, Jersey, take it easy.
When I heard Barack's speech, I was just uplifted. I felt like I could do anything. I felt like I could go anywhere, and I was just proud of him, of like Martin Luther King, of everyone's accomplishments.
I think he's gonna be a great president, and he will change our nation. And I'm glad he was elected.
The unity and the excitement and the hope of a nation. I mean, it's JFK, you know, when I remember that. I mean, the excitement that when he came in.
I feel that I can do anything now, really, from just today's experience. It's been great.
He seems to be bringing a sensibility that we haven't had. There isn't the paranoia that the Bush regime had. There just seems to be common sense. He takes everything calmly. He seems to think about everything, and I hope he can maintain that composure.
I was born in Georgia, and I came through where you couldn't sit at a counter. I was there. I was raised where you couldn't go in a restaurant as a black person, where you had to drink out of separate fountains. Even when everything had changed, there were still 2 little red holes. You knew that that's where blacks would go in. So this is a monumental occasion for me.